a look at what's going on inside the grow room. Waiting for that chat to start popping here any second. There it goes. Debbie. No surprises there. Hey, Debbie. Always first. Almost always first. Luke Day, hello. Love you guys get here so quickly. I was researching some Graham Elwood stuff, getting ready for tomorrow's interview. I'm so excited about having Graham Elwood on the show tomorrow. You guys that don't know, tomorrow is the day to watch the show tomorrow afternoon. Make sure you tune in and check out the live broadcast of me and Graham Elwood together right here on this show. It's exciting. I can't wait. But I was researching Graham Elwood, and I told you I'm so blown away by all of his accomplishments and what he's about. And I found a couple of videos that I thought were really important. For me especially. I never liked this guy that's on YouTube. His name is Nico House. I never liked him because he always struck me as a phony. It's the way people portray themselves. It's the way someone talks. Something as simple as the background they pick. The way that they present themselves, the clothes they wear, and the things they say. And I judged him really quickly. I was, years ago, I was really hot on progressives. I was like, man, I want to get every progressive. I want to listen to all of them. And I heard some people talking about this guy, Nico House. I was like, oh, I'm going to go check him out too. Everybody's watching him too. So I checked out Nico House. And I watched him once or twice. And I was like, I disagree with everything this guy says. Not only that, I don't like the way he says it. I don't like the way he presents himself. And I think he's a fucking phony. So I stopped watching him. I was like, I don't need to dwell in the negativity. I unfollowed him and left it alone. And from time to time, he gets mentioned. Graham Elwood is friends with him. He mentioned him. Graham Elwood appeared on his show, and they had a debate about Tulsi Gabbard recently, a month ago. And I said, well, since I don't like Nico House, and I do really love Graham, I'd like to hear the interaction between the two of them and kind of see where they're both at with each other. So Nico is there talking to Graham, and Graham's just, you could tell he's just like shaking his head at what Nico's saying, laughing at what he's saying. And I'm listening to Nico House. I'm like, boy, he sure talks a lot. He says a lot of words to try to make his point. He's taking all the oxygen out of the conversation. I fucking hate that. Get to the point. Say what you want to say. Use as little words as possible to give the other person a chance to respond. He was filibustering him and not making much sense. Talking about Tulsi Gabbard. And then Graham says to Nico, if there's one thing I hate, it's the way progressives use the progressive media to do their bidding, which is exactly what Nico was doing for Tulsi Gabbard. He was her, what do they call that when you're working for that candidate? I forgot what the word was, but he was, specifically working underneath her, and she was messaging him, telling him where she was coming from. Then Nico was going on YouTube and relating what Tulsi told him to his audience. And Graham saw that and said, I really don't like it when they use us as their mouthpieces. And Nico totally missed the point. Pretended to miss the point. And then for the rest of that interview segment, looked so fucking uncomfortable, wasn't hearing a word that Graham was saying. And then when Graham finally did say something, Nico breaks out in this big fit of fake laughter, uncomfortable fake laughter. I know it well. You're trying to pretend to everybody that you're fine, everything's cool. But in his mind, he started thinking about what Graham said to him. And he realized he's a fucking pawn in the politics game. That's exactly what they were talking about. They were talking about how pointless politics is becoming and that all these motherfuckers are liars. And Nico's clinging on to Tulsi's, bootstraps. He's just clinging. And Graham's like, man, you're just going to have to grow up and let it go, and put him down. And Nico didn't even catch it at first. It went right over his head. And man, I hope Graham doesn't burn me like that tomorrow, man. Oh my God. It was actually hard to watch. And even coming from someone like me that doesn't like Nico, it was fucking hard to watch, man. I actually had sympathy for Nico. I was like, wow, here you are trying to act like you're the man with your big fucking fake news backdrop. He's got this backdrop of a newsroom behind him to try to give him some fucking credibility. And like I said, it just adds to the phoniness, and it doesn't play well with me. And I know that Nico has a lot of fans out there, but man, he does not keep it real. He is not a genuine person at all. I think he's a fucking phony. And man, I have got phony vision. I can spot you motherfuckers from miles and miles away. I can spot you from the fucking moon. And it doesn't take me long. I've got that little bit of intuition. I can tell that you're a fucking phony, man. And there's one thing about Graham Elwood, he's a genuine motherfucker. And there's one thing about Nico House, he is a fucking phony. And to see the two of them speaking to each other, it just pours out of both of them. And it's a commentary on style. It's a commentary on how you portray yourself to your audience. It really does help me out with understanding how I portray myself to you guys. David Uff is participating in the conversation. I thank you, my friend. I thank you for talking back to me about this. How do I get you guys to talk back to me about what I'm talking about? Anybody else besides David Uff, the guy that barely comes to the live stream, would like to put your commentary on top of what I'm saying? Hey, great Dank Bud 710. I'm struggling here, guys. We were talking about this yesterday. I really want to step up the rapport that we have. I want to step that rapport up. You're listening, but you're not participating in the conversation. This isn't just about listening. This is about having a conversation. Hey, hippie chick. I don't want you to just listen. I want you to talk to me. Thank you, Patrick Foley. You're not familiar with Nico? You guys aren't going to like him. Anybody that watches my show, you guys are not going to like him at all. You won't like him. You're going to see right through him. You're going to have that vision. It's going to make the hair stand up on the back of your neck. There's going to be something about Nico that doesn't sit right with you. And all it is he's a fucking phony. And it comes off. Man, if he's got a girlfriend or a significant other, I really feel sorry for them. He is a fucking narcissist. He's an egotistical narcissist. I mean, it just, he can't hide it from me. You can't hide your true self from me. Not if you're podcasting. I'm going to see you for what you are. And you guys are going to see it. And I noticed that not a single one of you even knows who he is, has commented on it or whatever. It seems like you guys are completely lost in this conversation. And that's a good thing. I'm glad that none of you guys know this guy. Because he sucks. He paints himself to be this pundit. And when I've listened to him, I tried to listen. I wanted to like the guy. I did. I wanted to be a fan. I did. I gave him a chance. And at least I still listen to Pac-Man. There's things that Pac-Man says I think are totally obnoxious. But Pac-Man has got a lot of redeemable qualities. Nico's got none. He's got nothing redeemable about him. He's going to come with bullshit. He's not going to give you reality. He's going to give you his slant from whatever, Tulsi or whoever the fuck told him to say. And it plays off just like that. Graham Elwood certainly noticed it and pointed out right to his fucking face. My goodness, how embarrassing. Do you guys want to see the moment? How would you guys like to see Graham Elwood call out Nico for being Tulsi Gabbard's mouthpiece and watch the way Nico just completely whooshes right over his fucking head? You guys want to see? I want to show it to you. I think it's worth seeing because this is what Graham Elwood does to people. He rips them apart pleasantly. He does it he's such a nice, easygoing person. Oh, you guys don't know who Nico House is? He likens himself to being a pundit. He's a bandwagoner. You know, he doesn't pay attention to, he's very tunnel vision. He's very narrow, and he will ignore bad things about the candidate that he likes and completely support them blindly and expect his audience to do the same. And you listen to him and you're like, bro, that doesn't play well. You know, when Bernie Sanders fucked us all and stabbed us in the back, I was the first one to say he fucked us. Fuck Bernie Sanders. You know, when AOC came out and fucked us, I said she fucked us. When Tulsi Gabbard came out and fucked us, I said Tulsi fucked us. I have no problem doing that. I don't know why he's such a pussy. I don't know why Nico House is such a pussy. He can't stand up against people, you know? It's fucking sad. We're going to talk about Richard Wolff too, you guys. Okay, let me just type in Nico Graham. Okay. Nico House chats with Graham. I love the political vigil. Okay, here it is. Is Tulsi Gabbard a sellout? Here it is. I found it. I just want to find this. You know, I should let you guys watch the whole video so you can see the build up to it. Let's watch the whole thing and get high. All right, here's the whole thing. The
Democratic Party is in complete utter failure. I agree with you. We cannot reform that shit. It can't be done. And even when I talk about like this.
Now, let me just stop Nico right there. Okay, the Democratic Party is in complete free fall. We can't reform it. There's nothing we can do. And then he goes on to defend a political candidate. Does that make any sense? If you say the Democratic Party is unsavable, then why the fuck are you going to support a candidate? You think, well, oh, is Tulsi an independent? Is she not running it? Oh, no, that's right. She was running as a Democrat, wasn't she? I'm really confused right now. You know, that's a confusing statement. I want to play it over again. Listen to him and note the hypocrisy in the statement. Every fucking statement this guy says, it cancels itself out.
The Democratic Party is in complete utter failure. I agree with you. We cannot reform that shit. It can't be done. And even when I talk about like the civil rights movement, they say, well, why did Lyndon B. Johnson sign the civil rights amendments and why did Congress pass it if all of them were so racist and reform? I'm like, bro, first of all, they fear for their fucking lives. Because they were on Capitol Hill every damn day. It was hundreds of thousands.
And can I just say this? If Nico House wants to be a professional broadcaster, he really needs to consider getting a compressor if he's going to yell like that into his mic. I mean, you can't. When I'm doing this, I'm getting high and my mic's distorting, whatever. It's really no big deal. I'm not trying to present like this polished, fake newsroom behind me. I'm a fucking newsy guy kind of persona. But if he really wants to do it, he really should consider spending $150 and buying a DBX compressor or something, so that he doesn't distort and sound like he's broadcasting from his freaking basement, which I guess he probably is. Sorry to have to put him down, but I'm gonna fucking put him down. The reason why I'm gonna put him down is because I don't like him. I think he's a phony, and I think that the people that follow him and think that he makes sense are fucking idiots too.
Thousands of people a year in DC ready to pick up and protest. That is why they were forced to do something that they may not have wanted to do at the time. And so I agree that we're kind of like in this post-party era, but I would be remiss if I wouldn't say that I don't like the categorization of Tulsi being kind of aligned with Bernie AOC, right? Because here's my thing, and I want to hear your side of this because you've made some pretty good arguments as well. The thing about Tulsi tried to introduce election fraud legislation. They ignored her. And Bernie did as well, even though he had the money in the team to now. He could have single-handedly conquered election fraud with that much fucking money this election. Didn't do it. Tulsi tried to introduce UBI before the quarantine even started as a preventative measure because she knew it was coming. AOC and Bernie did not back the legislation. Tulsi introduced the Fairness in Media Act, which good God, we need that more than ever right now. Bernie and Tulsi ignored it. AOC ignored it. At once upon a time, 2014, Tulsi actually tried to decriminalize the police amid the Tamir Rice.
Hey, James.
Go down the list, right? Bernie never introduced anything he didn't introduce the Senate version of it. He completely ignored it.
Happy 710, no law regarding cannabis. Cannabis is just for all. Cheers, everybody.
I disagree with some of the decisions that Tulsi makes, which obviously I'm free to do. There's a difference between you fall short of my expectations at times, and you are being deliberately obtuse, self-serving, and just basically fulfilling your own agenda by playing stupid. Does that make sense? So I feel like there's even though I Tulsi knows how I feel about this. I just don't believe that the Democratic Party can be reformed, even though she might feel that way. But
so why do you support her?
I think there's a difference between, you know what, I'm just not a fan of politicians, and I think Tulsi, AOC, and Bernie are in the same category. So what would you say to that?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of politicians either.
I can appreciate and respect all the points you just made, and they're very valid. For me, first of all, I donated to Tulsi and Bernie's campaign, and they both owe me money. So,
there's a lot of money to be paid back this election cycle. You goddamn right about that.
So when you endorsed Joe Biden, which they both did,
yeah,
I'm just like that. I'm done. And yes, Tulsi was the only one that would really call out the Democratic Party's corruption, but then endorses Joe Biden. So to me, Bernie's campaign and her campaign were my last. This is the last time I'm going to have any remote faith that this party can actually do something, and you just can't reform this party from within. So to me, I hear your distinctions, and they're valid, and it's something for me.
Quarter of the hour.
I'm just like, if you have a
time to smoke again,
you're eventually going to sell out on some level or another. And my example of that is Kishore Sawant in Seattle. Look what she got done.
That woman is amazing.
The reason she got that done, she's not a goddamn Democrat. And that city council has a bunch of corporate Democrats. Their mayor is a corporate Democrat, but she eventually...
Cheers, no law regarding cannabis. Cannabism just for all, quarter of the hour.
Tulsi got offered something. AOC's been off. They've all been...
I can tell you because because I was her surrogate, she contacted me before she made the announcement to let me know, hey, this is why I'm doing this. And to be honest with you, it wasn't that she got offered something by the Democrats. It was because in conjunction with coronavirus, she didn't feel comfortable taking money from people when she knew she couldn't campaign.
Now, that is Nico House, independent media, being a mouthpiece for Tulsi Gabbard. Okay? Tulsi told Nico, and now Nico's telling everybody what Tulsi said. Now, Graham is going to say, it's really too bad that politicians use independent media to be their fucking little blah, blah, blah mouthpieces. And Nico doesn't realize that Graham is referring to you, Nico. That's what he means. He's attacking you. He's showing you how shallow you are. He's showing you how used you are. He's showing you how pliable and weak-minded and manipulated you have been. And whoosh, it goes over your head at first, and then you'll see it in Nico's face over the next 5 to 10 minutes. He just goes blank because he's thinking about what Graham said. And he's realizing that Graham just called his ass out on his show. And he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to think. He doesn't know what to say. Graham is going on and on and on. And Nico is sitting there lost in thought, just staring off. You guys are going to see. So I'm going to back this up just a little bit so you guys can hear Nico's launch into this. Okay? Listen to the launch in and listen to the fucking takedown.
The Democratic Party says something. Tulsi got offered something. AOC's been off. They've all been.
I can tell you because because I was her surrogate.
See Graham
she
shaking his
contacted
head
me before she made the announcement to let me know. Like,
Cheers.
Hey, this is why I'm doing this. And to be honest with you, it wasn't that she got
420
about
coming up.
Democrats.
I'll wait.
It was because in conjunction with coronavirus, she didn't feel comfortable taking money from people when she knew she couldn't campaign. And because she knew the coronavirus, she knew what was on the horizon. We had already, I believe, started the quarantine, or at least some states had.
Listen how he defends her
and then,
to the death.
So the Biden endorsement.
I hate fucking Tulsi Gabbard. I'd spit on her.
Even though some people are like, oh no, she can just
fucking hypocrite.
The DNC is a private corporation.
They're all politicians. They're all liars. Fuck them all.
Unless you want to challenge it with money that she once again does not have, because they would just continue it and basically make her life a living hell. And on top of that, she knew that they would leverage coronavirus money for her people, like for Hawaii, against her. So whereas she was able to secure money specifically for Hawaii, in some of the shit bills that we saw.
Now, what Billy said before, and I love the point that Billy made before, he said, man, the dude speaking is not very well spoken. He's hard to follow. He's a filibusterer. He blabs, doesn't make points, right? And what he's doing right now is he's trying to defend Tulsi Gabbard by saying what she said for him to say. This is what you tell people, okay? Tell them that I'm blah, 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 blah. Now, look at the expression on his face. He is just such a sellout for Tulsi. All he wants to do right now is convince the world that Tulsi is the solution, right? And he's trying so hard. Listen to what happens here.
They would have kept it out. They would have, and then it would have passed it anyway. And she could have screamed at the top of her lungs. They would have ignored her. And so at a certain point, so for me, personality politics, depending on the pattern of behavior, also includes endorsements, right? Whenever someone, if Tulsi had made a habit of endorsing corporate Democrats or even campaigned for Biden after or said anything about him at all after, then I probably would be like, no, this is who you are as a politician. But when you endorse somebody that you were contractually obligated to because you ran for president under that party, which, once again, the party is clearly the problem, then I feel like saying, well, she's not effective in a vacuum and she's the same in a vacuum is not fair because, well, what are we going to talk about when we talk about all these policies she tried to get passed, specifically so we didn't end up in this situation, about the fact that she's quitting Congress, and obviously what that means is she's removing herself from the establishment, from the pool.
Happy 420, no law regarding cannabis. Cannabis citizens for all. Cheers, everybody.
To try to make the change she seeks because she sees what's going on Capitol Hill and it's not working. She's making all these decisions that clearly, yeah, the endorsement of Biden conflicts with, but when we look at the actual pattern of behavior along with the policies and the fact that the Biden endorsement was just that, a one-time endorsement of the Democratic nominee that she was contractually obligated to make, then it's not really like, it's, once again, I just feel like it's, I don't want to say disingenuous, but I feel like the logical chain doesn't follow to say, well, all the other people show us pattern after pattern after pattern after not doing shit after them screwing us over actively, right? And then they're shoving our face in shit and telling us it's roses. That's what we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. But then you have somebody who's tried to make sure we avoid all these circumstances, and she just got silenced and ignored.
That's called filibustering.
Like that is more so the Biden endorsement for me was disappointment. Yeah, a little bit because it's Tulsi, but two.
You guys, I will never do this to somebody. I will never talk for the sole purpose of preventing the other person from talking. And that's all he's doing. He's trying to take the oxygen out of the conversation to give him all the time. He's got nothing to say. And he's not saying anything. He's not making any fucking points. And look at Graham. If you guys understand what body language means, okay, when somebody folds their arms in front of them when someone else is talking to them, what they're saying is, I don't want to hear what you're saying. This is body language. I will very rarely do this to somebody when I am talking to them, whether I'm on the internet talking to you like this or I'm in person talking to somebody, because I understand what this means. This means you're full of shit and I'm really not digesting it very well right now. I'm protecting myself. This is Graham's body language right now. It's not good for Nico, and he needs to see that, and he needs to realize that it's not his turn to talk anymore. He needs to let Graham talk. That's what this means. It's time to let Graham speak now. You know? Make your fucking point and move on already.
We should have never got to this point. Because she was the best candidate. And anybody who says that they care about policy more than anything else, you can't convince yourself that there's a better candidate if you know the policies. So what would you say to that?
Well, I would say that might just be a place where you and I just flat out disagree.
That's fine, yeah, that's fine.
Boom! Number one, Nico just spoke for 5 fucking minutes. And Graham's response was, I disagree. He didn't say, well, you made some fine points in there, and I feel like, yeah, maybe we've got some places there where we might be able to come together. No. He took Nico's 5 minutes of blah, 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 and said, I disagree. How beautiful was that from Graham? That's how you debate somebody. That is how you argue with somebody. That is how you make your fucking point. In as little time, with as little words, and as little effort as possible, and you show all the other people that are watching how easy it is to eviscerate somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about.
I hear a lot of that, but signing that contract, then don't sign that contract. You know, then again, you're deluding yourself more than anybody else and your followers and constituency if you think that you can I'm going to sign this contract saying I'm going to abandon my beliefs, but I have this other track record to show that I'm fighting for the right things. That to me is just like we are in the most chaotic time. Like America's this isn't a tipping point, this is the tipping point. Yeah. And to me, it takes bold leadership and making a decision and choice that is not easy, rather than, well, I'm still going to play the, I need this, and all right, I'll endorse that, and I sign this contract. For me, I'm just like,
hey, Connie.
This is why all of those decisions that, I mean, you've had, I don't know her, I've never met her personally, I'm not one of her surrogates, and
it's coming up.
I don't want to be friends with any politician, quite honestly.
It's coming up.
I mean, that's a fair point. That's definitely a fair point.
That's a fake laugh.
They use indie media, and I don't like seeing friends of mine get used.
Well, shit, I wish that politicians would use indie media.
Boom! Did you guys hear that? All right, now wait.
This is why all of the
listen to Nico's fake fucking laugh. He's not laughing because as soon as the fake laugh ends, he's not smiling. Ha 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 ha. Right? Phony, right? I told you the guy's a phony. And then as soon as the fake laugh ends, listen to what Graham Elwood says. This is it, okay? 8:36. Listen to what Graham Elwood says right here.
Those decisions that, I mean, you've had, I don't know her, I've never met her personally, I'm not one of her surrogates, and I don't want to be friends with any politician, quite honestly, because they use. I
mean, that's a fair point. That's definitely a fair point.
You know, they use indie media, and I don't like seeing friends of mine get used.
Well,
they use indie media, and I don't like seeing friends of mine get used. They use indie media, and I don't like seeing friends of mine getting used. He's talking about the way Tulsi used Nico. He is calling him out on his phony bullshit right to his face, right on his show. And now watch Nico's reaction. Okay, watch the let me just do something a second here. Okay, Google. Obfuscate definition.
All right, I added skate definition to the list called My Shopping List.
Okay, Google. Advocate. No. Advocate definition.
According to vocabulary.com.
No. Okay, Google. Advocate definition.
All right, the skate definition on your list.
No, shut up. Google, shut up. Okay, Google, shut up. I don't know what the word is, man. I heard Eddie Vedder use it, and I thought I knew what it meant, but I don't know how to pronounce it properly. It's not advocate. It's like advocate or something, and it's what I think the word means is to try to distance yourself from something you've said. So let's back it up here just a little bit and watch what happens next. It gets hilarious, uncomfortable, and you might feel sorry for Nico, okay? You might feel sorry for Nico if you start really looking at the expression on his face.
Because they use.
I mean, that's a fair point. That's definitely a fair point.
You know, they use indie media, and I don't like seeing friends of mine get used.
Well, shit, I wish that politicians would use indie media more. I feel like they don't use them anywhere near to the degree. I feel like Bernie actually used indie media this go around, right? Because clearly, the questions with Joe Rogan, for example, were tailored.
Yes, it's
Okay.
they're still politicians. I mean, AOC, she's.
This is the moment where Nico stops fucking blabbing. Graham starts talking. And Nico, you could see the sadness on his face, and you can see that he realizes he was trying to be impressive. Okay? He was trying to impress everybody by the fact that he works for Tulsi Gabbard. He threw it out there like a trump card. I work for Tulsi Gabbard. She speaks to me, and I report that back to you. And I'm Ron Placoning. And his response was, you're a tool being used by Tulsi Gabbard. Her nickname from the people who know better call her Toolsy. And there's one person on the internet who actually started a hashtag, and the hashtag was hashtag Toolsy. I started the hashtag. So it all just kind of comes together right here. And now what I want you to do is pay attention to Nico's demeanor.
She's going to go on Sam Cedar, but she won't go on Jimmy. She won't
Go on, Jimmy. Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no way.
Not anymore, anyway, right?
Not now. And so to me, it's just like any of this trying to reform from within. The joke I always make, it's like me joining a drug cartel
so uncomfortable,
and
man.
get them to stop selling drugs, and maybe they'll start selling vegan smoothies.
Well, in California, it might be a good transition. I don't know, or do both in California. Shit.
They'll have cocaine inside the vegan smoothies, and that'll be the concession I'll make. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they're going to not sell it 200 yards from schools rather than right at schools. Yay, victory. No, it's all awful, and it goes to the whole thing to why I think this is all connected. Like the conversations we're now having about defunding the police, we'd like the whole thing to why I think this is all connected.
Look at what's going on inside. Look at what's going on inside his face right there.
We like right at schools. Yay! They're going to not sell it 200 yards from schools rather than right at schools. Yay! Victory. No, it's all awful, and it goes to the whole thing to why I think this is all connected. Like the conversations we're now having about defunding the police. We like Seattle. They tried all.
Not only did you get called a tool by Graham on your show, but you don't know how to respond to it. You know, you were lighthearted. You tried to act like you immediately understood what Graham said when he said it. But now you're thinking about it, and you're thinking about your response, and you're in your head, you're playing it over and over and over again in your mind. I don't like to see my friends getting used by politicians. And that is just fucking ringing in his skull right now. And I bet you, even up until this very moment, it's been 30 days, and he still can't get it out of his head that Graham Elwood came on his show and basically shut him down. This is everything that Nico House is about, is Tulsi Gabbard. And with one, hey Melanie, what's up, honey? with one, hey Kristen, with one little pin pop, Graham deflated that bubble that Nico has created around himself. Now, I figure that I might be the only person besides Graham Elwood who caught on to this and knew what was going on. And I don't plan to ask Graham about this at all tomorrow in our interview. But this is classic Graham Elwood. This is how he works. This is what he does. He doesn't pull punches. He doesn't hold back. He holds people accountable for the things they say and their actions. And Nico House is guilty of being Tulsi Gabbard's lackey. It's kind of beautiful. If you're a Graham Elwood fan, this is, and you don't like Nico and you're like me, this is ballet being performed by the finest dancers in the world while you're being served caviar and sipping the reddest, most beautiful smelling wines in the world, smoking the finest cannabises. You know what I mean? This is to be savored. This is a moment in podcast history that I will never forget, because I've always known that this guy was a fucking phony. And boy, oh boy, one of the guys that I worship the most on the internet. Just recently, too. I didn't even know. I didn't even know how much I love this guy. I didn't even know. But I found out, though. And now, boy, oh boy, you know, this is like gold. This is my gold. Don't take my gold away from me. Okay? Enjoy this with me. Savor this moment with me, please. Savor this moment with me, please.
All the reforms. They've tried all that reform, de-escalation tactics, and meow, meow, boo. They're like, it's over. Los Angeles, 54% of the city of Los Angeles' operating budget is LAPD. So I don't want to give...
What?
Yes.
Holy, that is obscene.
Obscene.
How many homies do y'all have?
Did that seem like an overreaction to you guys? Did that seem like a phony overreaction? Now, I'll tell you why that happened. Because in his mind, he keeps hearing Graham's words over and over and over again. He's not paying attention to himself, and he's not keeping himself in check because he's got these words bouncing around inside his brain. I know, I've been there. Now, I see this for exactly what it is. I want to back it up. Cover your ears, folks. It's loud and obnoxious, but you gotta see Nico's reaction, knowing what he's about to do now, knowing that he's about to blow up and scream into the mic. Okay, watch it happen.
54% of the city of Los Angeles' operating budget is LAPD. So I don't want to give...
What?
Yes.
Holy, that is obscene.
Obscene.
How many homies do y'all have?
Los Angeles is like 3 or 4 million people or something like that. LA County's probably closer to 8.
Hey, I know I said before that, like,
and let me tell you what this also is. This is a subconscious sideways attack by Nico. He is assaulting Graham's ears out of defense, out of it's a strike back. Okay? And it's, you know, he gets to interrupt Graham. He gets to scream at Graham at the top of his lungs. He gets to make Graham stop. And Graham knows that this is false outrage. And his response is, his hands are on his hips, like a mother when their child is late coming home for dinner. What does she do? Where have you been? Do you know what time it is? That's Graham Elwood right now, and that's called body language, guys. Now, I want you to look at Nico's face. His eyes are closed. His mouth is wide open. He's got his head up, his nose up in the air. I know it's just a moment in time, but this literally exemplifies where Nico really is at right now mentally in this conversation. He's feeling the sting of what Graham has done, and he can't control himself. He doesn't know how to react normally now. He's not acting mature. He's screaming at Graham.
I'm not.
PD. So I don't want to.
What?
Yes.
Holy, that is obscene.
Obscene.
You guys, look at Graham. Now look at Graham's response while he's getting screamed at. Look at Graham like, hey man, I know your game. I know what you. Graham's like, okay, are you done having your tantrum yet? Are you done with your fucking false, make believe outrage? Let me know. Let me know.
PD. So I don't want to.
What?
Yes.
Holy, that is obscene.
Obscene.
How many homeless people do y'all have?
Los Angeles is like 3 or 4 million people or something like that. LA County's probably closer to 8. You know?
Hey, I know I said before that like I'm not comfortable with the looting. Fuck all that, man. Y'all need to break in wherever the hell y'all got to, man. Y'all have 3 million homeless people, but 54% of budget goes to LA people. That is obscene, bruh.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I misunderstood you. Total population about 3 million. The homeless population is probably in the neighborhood of, well, it was 36,000 people before the pandemic.
Look, I don't understand why Nico is telling people now the fact that he found out that over 50% of LA's city budget goes to the LAPD. It doesn't surprise me, and it doesn't outrage me. And I mean, I understand that. It's, they have diverted funds to the police department. It sickens me, but I'm not going to sit there and feign outrage over it. Number one. Number two, he is just, Graham has really triggered something inside Nico at this point. And Graham knows people so well. He is a traveler, and not just a traveler around the goddamn world. He's a traveler of people's minds, man. He's been in countless relationships with people, talking to them and relating to them. And if there's one thing that Graham knows for sure, it blows my mind that Graham promotes Nico and that he calls him a friend. It blows my mind. But that being said, Graham is well aware of where Nico is at right now. He's experienced this harsh attack, is screaming into the mic. He was, Graham stood up to it, kind of like when a wave comes at you at the ocean. He's a surfer. He stood up to the wave of Nico's tantrum that he threw. Mitty, hey, what's up, son? We're watching a back and forth between Nico House and Graham Elwood, and it's just amazing. Here, let's keep watching.
It's probably in the neighborhood of 40 to 50,000 homeless people. There's tent cities.
That's still too many.
Nico, there are blocks from where I'm standing right now. There are tent cities, and next to it is one of those storage places. So literally, people's extra bullshit gets housing before human beings do. I mean, you go to downtown Los Angeles, and it is high-rise. It's the Staples Center. It's the Nokia Center. It's luxury apartment buildings, most of whom have like 20 to 30% occupancy at best. And people living in tents, and
right beside it, yep.
Beside it, and so our cops get.
And so that's what's so frustrating, man. That this fake.
Hey, can I just say, hey Nico, way to follow along with the conversation, bro. That's great, man. He does that. He tries to finish your sentence for you to let you know that he's listening. It's another way that people that are phonies try to convince you that they really are paying attention. Well, they're hearing that last bit of the sentence, and they're going to try to finish that sentence for you. So you think they've listened to every word. That's part of being a phony. It's part of the facade. This guy is a total phony. He's a sham. He's a shell. Okay? He's a lackey. Let's keep watching.
Anger about the looting. Oh, man.
Oh, and as far as him encouraging people to loot on this broadcast, That is something else I need to bring up. How irresponsible of him. Have I ever told you guys to go out and break anything? Never. Never. I've told you to show up to fucking Google, right? And go fucking scream and yell at those motherfuckers. But I never said break down their fucking door. You know, I never said shatter glass or hurt people. And for Nico to literally just tell his audience to go out and loot, it's irresponsible and it's disgusting. One more reason why, you know, I obviously could see what kind of a person he is. I saw right through him and I don't watch him. The only reason he came up was because I was searching Graham Elwood videos.
It's those small businesses, man. All of a sudden they care. It's crazy because now all of a sudden they care about small businesses now. Y'all know how much politicians have been robbing small businesses for decades. This isn't new. And the Republicans, you know, they'll pretend,
you guys, I have not gotten this far through the interview. I didn't realize he's continuing to filibuster now. Small businesses. Okay. Nico, make your fucking point and let Graham speak. He makes way more sense than you do.
No, we'll cut taxes. We'll load it. Not for small businesses, bro. Nah, they treat small businesses just like they do the middle class. They're draining them slowly every single day in favor of corporations. And all this fake outrage about the looting of small businesses are being looted every day by our politicians. First of all. Second of all, if y'all had that same goddamn...
You guys, he just said fake outrage, which he's displaying right now. He's literally displaying fake outrage while discussing fake outrage. Also, can we go back and count how many times he says small businesses? This is filibustering taken to a whole new level. This is beyond Donald Trump level of filibustering. This is beyond Mike Pence level of filibustering. Good old independent media, indie media. No, you guys don't want to hear it? Okay. Nobody said they wanted to hear it. Okay, we'll move on. That's cool.
Energy about the homeless population. I mean, in California, by the way, if y'all didn't know, they have the highest population of homeless people who are simultaneously gainfully employed. Get up and go to work every damn day.
I've interviewed two of them. I interviewed on my show last year. I interviewed a guy, full-time job, living in his car. And then Saturday, I was at a Black Lives Matter protest that was put on by BLMLA and the DSA in Echo Park. And one of the speakers who I interviewed, it's on my YouTube channel, was a teacher. College degree, might even have a master's degree.
Billy, I think I love you. I want to hear it too, bro.
And the Republicans, you know, they'll pretend, we'll cut taxes, we'll load it. Not for small businesses, bro. Nah, those small businesses.
Our cops get
that's what's so frustrating, man. That this fake anger about the looting. Oh man, just those small businesses. Those small businesses, man. All of a sudden they care. It's crazy because now all of a sudden they care about small businesses now. Y'all know how much politicians have been robbing small businesses for decades. This isn't new. And the Republicans, you know, they'll pretend, we'll cut taxes, we'll load it. Not for small businesses, bro. Nah, they treat small businesses just like they do the middle class. They're draining them slowly every single day in favor of corporations. And all this fake outrage about the looting of small businesses. Small businesses are being looted every day by our politicians. First of all. Second of all, if y'all had that same goddamn energy about the homeless population, I mean, in California, by the way, if y'all didn't know, they have the highest population of homeless people who are simultaneously gainfully employed. Get up and go to work every damn day.
I've interviewed two of them. I interviewed on my show last year. I interviewed a guy, full-time job, living in his car. And then Saturday, I was at a Black Lives Matter protest that was put on by BLMLA and the DSA in Echo Park. And one of the speakers who I interviewed, it's on my YouTube channel, was a teacher. College degree, might even have a master's degree.
That's disgusting. Teachers should be probably the third or fourth most profitable job occupancy in this country, in my opinion.
LAPD cops get $100,000 a year.
Excuse me?
Yeah. The opening salary is like $50,000-$60,000 a year.
Opening salary?
Yes, dude. Yes.
Do you guys see the phony
documentary just on that?
The phony
That really
conversing.
does, because that is
So
that is unconscionable.
uncomfortable.
That makes
Hard to watch.
That's infuriating. If you like that segment of Mikasa and Sukasa, don't forget to like the video and smash that subscribe button. What?
Oh God, you know what, man? You are a fucking joke. Look at him with the like he's sitting in some office or something. What? He's got some fake room behind him? Is that what that is? You guys, is that a fake room behind him? That is like the Oval Office or some shit. That is so weird. Why does he do that, man? Why does he present himself in such a fashion, you know? It's so phony. It's like people are like, "Why don't you do a screen behind you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I will do a screen behind me." You know? I'll do this one. Because that's just 60 feet away from me. You know? That's reality. That's my life, man. That's not some bullshit that you fucking pulled up on an image. You know, you downloaded off the fucking internet 20 minutes ago. Capper, Dave. It's 4:20 in Newfoundland. Cheers, everybody. Hey Josephine. I want to remind all of you, Graham Elwood is going to be on the show tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We're going to have Graham Elwood, man, the very guy we were just watching eviscerate. I can't believe that Nico House put that on his... Dude, I put a comment on here. It's gone. Huh, that's weird. God. Dude. I think Nico's all over his YouTube channel, bro. I left up a comment on there and it's gone. On one of my other channels. Oh no, there it is. My bad. Oh no, that's the one I just put up. Oh no, there it is. There's the other one 2 hours ago. There it is. I said 850. Graham owns Nico to his face, and Nico misses the point. Typical of someone who misses every other point too. Oh, that's a great fucking comment. You know, at least he's trying. I give him credit for trying. I hate his fucking opinion. And if he wants to put his opinion out there, I got a platform too. And that's how you feel, Nico? Great. This is how Trendy Nay feels. Welcome to my show. Are you guys high yet? Who's high? I'm high, man. I don't know what I did. I don't remember. I just know I'm high. I'm sitting here all high. Psst. My fucking solar failed again today. Had issues with that shit. Psh, unreal. Unreal, pal. Nobody does it like... Nobody does it like that anymore, pal. Nobody does it like that anymore, pal. Psh, unreal. Psh, psh. Unreal. You're high. I'm high. We're all high. Hi. We're all high. Hi. David Campione on Twitter says, stop making ugly people famous for being ugly. Bro, that's not the kind of shit you should be tweeting, man. It doesn't... That has no value. You need to be offering something. Was that supposed to be a joke? Was that your attempt at comedy? Well, I can understand if you thought you were writing a joke, but I just don't think it's a funny joke. Ed Bassmaster, psh, he ignores me. Nobody listens to Trending A anymore, pal. Psh, unreal. Man, I am fucking tired. I walked that goddamn loop twice today, up the mountain. Running up and down these stairs, working on this fucking solar, talking to these guys on the phone. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Where's my fucking cat? I want to kill it. No people are sharing videos of people because they have medical problems and it gets views. Oh, no. People are sharing videos of people because they have medical problems and it gets views. Oh. Yeah, that's true. People are curious about that kind of stuff, Dave. You don't let that shit bother you. I think you should be thinking about other shit, bro. Leave the ugly people alone, homie. Leave the medical people need love too, man. Medical people need. Why do you want to kill your cat? Because it's a fucking little killer. It's a little murderer, and I fucking hate it, and I'm sick of it. Maybe that's why he's gone right now. I think he knows how I feel. He's been gone all fucking day, man. I hate all cats. I'm a dog guy. Fuck a cat. Oh, but what do you think about tigers? Have you seen my tigers? I got like 37 now. They're really nice. You should come into the cage with me over here, mister. Check out this one over here. Now, this is a real pretty tiger right here. I love a tiger. Cats are users. Cheryl, you got a new picture. What's up, girl? Cheryl's got a new picture. Cheryl. Cats don't like me. Psst, unreal, pal. You know when you're on an elevator and you're going down and you kind of feel like you're floating a little bit? Or, you know, like if you could imagine, hey, Devin, thank you for all the retweeting you did for me recently, Devin. I appreciate that. Please keep that up. And retweet at people for me, definitely. Like if you were on a hang glider and you were coming down lower and lower and lower, and just kind of floating, you know, but feeling that you're going down, kind of like that elevator feeling. I literally have that feeling right now with the cannabis. I feel like I'm floating on a hang glider. It feels so relaxing and nice. I'm in the goddamn gondola. Do not yell about my gondola. Do not yell about my gondola. Who's in the gondola? I'm gonna go eat some arugula in the gondola. Leave me alone. I need some time alone in the gondola with the arugula. It's a nice feeling. Man, I need to go down to my gross and go cut some clones. Probably time to pick some more cherry tomatoes. There's probably some pole beans that are ready to be eaten. I might have more zucchinis that are ready to be picked. I let these grow too big. Trump goes live too much, says Kepper. Listen, you guys, Graham Elwood is going to be on the show with me tomorrow right here at 1 o'clock. I might not go live again until that point, okay? So that we can really, so everybody's ready for a show and that more people will show up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I'm going to go live tonight. I don't know if I'm going to go live tomorrow morning. But 1 o'clock tomorrow, I'm definitely going live with Graham Elwood. So don't miss that no matter what. Be here for that show. Graham Elwood and me together having a conversation. And I'm going to be letting him do most of the talking. You know, I'd love to ask him, did you support AOC at first? Did you support Bernie Sanders at first? Did you support Barack Obama at first? Did you support, he's younger. He's the same age as me. That's right. He's the same age as me. I was watching old videos of him when he was younger. What am I thinking? Yeah, him and I are the same age. So, did you, once you found out what Bill Clinton did, I mean, what makes you think another politician is the solution to all of this? Can a politician be honest? Can a politician do the bidding of the people? Can a politician serve? Is that possible? And at what point do you say, you know what? It's time for me to start learning how to make zucchini pizza. Of course, keep the pressure steady. And you can ask me anything you want, anytime you want. Cobra Dad, what's up? Ask. You can ask me anything you want. Just give me some of them French fried potatoes, some of that mustard. Zucchini pizza, you should be making it. What's the question? Keep the pressure steady. Keep the pressure steady. What is the question you're going to ask me? Hey, have you been keeping the pressure steady? That's the question? Because that would be a great question. Have you been keeping the pressure steady? Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Did you like my baseball music? Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah, I heard that shit before. Ape shit. Are you keeping the pressure steady? Josephine says, are you keeping the pressure steady? That's the question. Are you keeping the pressure steady? Keep the pressure steady, John. We don't want to bruise her. We don't want to bruise the skin. Keep the pressure steady. You know, I don't see how you're choking someone to death without bruising them. I really don't see how you're doing that. But, not with a scarf. I mean, is it with a scarf? Is that it? It was a scarf, right? Keep the pressure steady, John. Keep that pressure steady. Keep the pressure steady, John. We don't want to bruise her. Where are you, Cobra Dad? I told you, ask me. And then you don't ask me. I don't understand. I'm sitting here waiting. I think this chair's falling apart. I've broken another chair. Were you born with a silver spoon? It's just a question I would like to answer, and please realize I don't think a silver spoon is bad. People are. Yeah, no, my father went bankrupt, man, in like 74, bro. We were bankrupt. We had a house, but we didn't have the finer things in life, you know. My father had to rebuild. His company lost everything. He had a furniture business, and him and his brothers would go around and they would find old pieces of furniture and they would buy it and then they'd refurbish it and they'd sell it. And eventually they built that up into an actual furniture business where they were buying and selling office furniture, and they went and they bought a bunch of stock. They filled their warehouse with all these beautiful desks and chairs, and then nobody showed up. And they owed the banks money, and they had to declare bankruptcy, and they lost everything. The banks came and took everything, and my father had to start from scratch. And at that point, he started when I was probably 11, 12 years old, sometime around there. He went into the chair manufacturing business, you know, because they were in the office furniture business. He and his brothers saw a niche, you know, just a segment of office furniture that they thought there was a higher demand for chairs than anything else. So they decided to start manufacturing chairs. And my father went around and was a salesman, went around and spoke with people all around the area, the local area where he was, to see if they would purchase mass amounts of chairs. And they made stacked chairs, and they made office chairs. And the chair company was successful. And they got to a point with the chair company where my father and his business partners weren't getting along anymore. And they decided to liquidate and sell the company. And my father did that and decided to start when I was 14 years old or so, decided to get into mini storage. So we lived in a nice neighborhood. It was medium. I would say if you've got middle class and you've got upper class, we were right in between. You know, we had friends that lived in gated communities, but we didn't. You know, they could afford more. They had nicer cars. You know, the kids had nicer shit. They had all the toys. They went on nice vacations and shit. We didn't have that sort of thing, you know. So I wouldn't say that I was born with a silver spoon, but I would say that by the time I was 15 years old, my father made the right decision, the right business decision, and asked me if I wanted to become a partner in that company, and that's why I am here, because of what he did. And that's not being born with a silver spoon. My father was not, born into wealth. He grew up on a farm, and they sold the farm and they split that inheritance money between 4 children. And that money went really fast, and it helped. But, my parents didn't have a lot of money in the bank. And we weren't driving around. My parents are well off today, of course. But we weren't driving in a Mercedes until I was 15 years old. My mom didn't have a nice car, until I was 15. And it wasn't the top of the line Mercedes. It was the kind of Mercedes that says, we're doing okay. We're comfortable. It was that kind of a Mercedes. It wasn't the fuck you money kind of Mercedes that you really want to have, and everybody wants to be able to have that kind of a car. We weren't there. By the time I was want to say, these years are hazy for me, but I'm going to guess it was in between the time I was 19 and 22, somewhere in between those years. That's when my parents were well off. That's when, we moved into this nice neighborhood when I was 16 years old, but when I was 20 or 21, my parents built a gorgeous home in that same neighborhood, and we moved in that same neighborhood. You're familiar with that house? Absolutely, bro. That's hey, man, that's the fucking history. That's where I come from. I got friends who were born with silver spoons in their mouths. I've got friends who are multimillionaires. I've got friends who were born into it. I got friends who had inheritances. I've got fucking friends who worked their asses off to get to where they are today. And they are where they are today, and they're doing fantastic because they worked for it. And I got everything in between. I got friends who are destitute, crackheads, and gang members. I've got friends that are 9-to-5ers, office people, you name it, man. Working in the auto industry, manufacturing, home businesses, family people, like housewives, stuff like that. Yeah, the whole gamut. I've seen it all. I know it all. I'm friends with everybody, though. I don't distinguish. I don't say, I'm friends with you because of how much you're worth, or I'm not friends with you because you're not doing well for yourself. It's just not how I am. People, you're welcome. This is Nate, says Cobra Dad. Cobra Dad, now you go walking in here trying to take credit. You're so funny. Listen, guys, tomorrow, Graham Elwood, this show right here, you're not going to want to miss this interview, guys. Tomorrow, I might not go live until that time. Okay? But I want you guys to show up for it. I want you guys to enjoy it. I want you guys to promote it. Get on Twitter and start telling people about it, Get on Facebook and tell people about it. Go say, hey, Trendy Nate's going to be interviewing Graham Elwood. Get into a chat. Go on somebody else's live stream and say Graham Elwood's going to be on Trendy Nate's show. Let people know. It's going to happen. Oh, thank you, hippie chick. Yeah, that house is fucking crazy. They live in a sick house. Hey, where's Iceman at, man? I love you too, Cobra Dad. Where the fuck is Iceman at? Do I still play guitar and sing on my show? Yeah, you know, I found a whole bunch of guitar picks that were used, and I was like, I guess I don't have to sing and play guitar on my show anymore because I got all these used guitar picks. Yeah. Yeah. I know you can see me, now here's a surprise. I know that you can't, cause there's magic in my eyes. Now here's a poke at you. You're gonna choke on it too. You're gonna lose that smile because of the wine. I can see for miles and miles. I can see for miles and miles. I can see for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. Oh yeah. I got Grover tuners on this motherfucker. Yeah, these are Martin tuners. Man, I could have my guy put Grovers on here like that one. Stress it, fret it, restring it. This thing's gonna be bad as fuck again. I'm gonna do it. It is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I've got to beware. And he said, stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. Better stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. Better stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. Sound, what a beautiful heat. 1,000 people in the street, they're singing songs and carrying signs, mostly saying hooray for our side. Then they said, stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. You better stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. You better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. You better stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and carrying signs. Ooh, hooray for our side. Ooh.